Hello, it's Suzanne Alexander with the Live Like Lou Foundation. I co-founded Live Like Lou with my husband, Neil Alexander, when he was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS, in 2011. Although Neil is no longer with us, the vision and the aspiration to live like Lou, based upon the example set by Lou Gehrig himself, lives on. And our mission to serve ALS families and to fund ALS research lives on too. We're really doing a lot of good work together. We're doing it mostly through our partnership with the men of Phi Delta Theta fraternity and the undergraduates, the chapters, the alumni clubs, and the communities of support that we're building outside of Phi Delta Theta. This includes some of the research individuals who work in labs that we fund, our partnership with Hope Loves Company, and some of the other communities of support that we're developing are really helping us leave ALS better than we found it. You're watching this video because you are going to be participating in the Great Live Like Lou Outdoor Cleanup. This is a program that matches volunteers with ALS families across North America. We are currently at about just above 150 families that we've matched so far through this program. Our goal is to serve 200 families across North America annually. And this means that we find families who need support with occasional outdoor arms and legs volunteer support, and we go and find the volunteers and you guys do the work. We are writing an amazing new chapter in the story of ALS together through your service and your support of these families. You guys are bringing dignity and care and all incredible types of help to these families. And they see you, our communities see you, they know what you do, they know what you stand for. You guys join us in leaving ALS better than we found it. We're very grateful. So I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking about the program itself, what it is, what it isn't, and all the different aspects of next steps related to serving your ALS family through the Great Live Like Lou Outdoor Cleanup. So first, I'm going to tell you some stories, though. I want to show you some pictures of some recent volunteer events that have occurred. This is a group of volunteers that picked up, assembled, and played on the trampoline of the daughter who lives with her ALS family in Georgia. These guys are creating a great relationship with this young lady and helping her feel like she has a bigger family and many more brothers as she journeys through ALS and her own family. This is a woman who's living with ALS in Kentucky, and these volunteers came out and helped clean out her garage and her basement as she prepares her home for sale. She wrote us a wonderful letter, by the way, about this volunteer event. These guys are cleaning up the yard of an ALS family that lives in Indiana. This is an alumnus of Phi Delta Theta. He got the call to go out and support a man living in his own community who needed some work on his roof and also cleaning out his garage. And this is the staff of Phi Delta Theta fraternity. They have adopted a family that lives with ALS near the office of general headquarters. And they go out and serve this family regularly with yard cleanup and mulching and trimming and spring bulb planting. It's really a great relationship. So here's what it is. The Great Live Like Lou Outdoor Cleanup is volunteer driven. It is occasional, it's outdoor. These words matter because we want to be clear what it is and what it isn't, especially if a family is looking for routine support of their outdoor needs. For example, weekly lawn cutting or regular trimming, or if they want you to build an addition to their house. These are things you can't do, and it is really not volunteer. That's more regular work you would pay for. Occasional outdoor volunteer support means once in a while, yard cleanup, garage clean out, snow shoveling, basement work, the types of arms and legs support that bring a lot of dignity to these families, but it's kind of hard to get someone to do it when you've got so many other things on your plate living with the disease. Also, minor outdoor repairs. So we've had a fence repair done. We've had a wheelchair ramp that needed to be repaired. Minor outdoor errands, such as hauling rubbish or yard waste to the dump. These are the types of projects that we love to see our volunteers help with. They're sort of one and done, get in, get out, and you can do it a couple of times a year and really bring a lot of value to the family. Finally, we want our projects and our volunteer relationships with families to be compliant with local and CDC guidelines for social distancing. This COVID is serious, especially for families living with ALS. When you have a disease where the end state is a pulmonary decline or respiratory issues, the disease COVID is very frightening. We want to keep our ALS families safe. We also want to keep our volunteers safe. So we request that all of our families and all of our volunteers mask up where it's recommended, and also maintain social distance to keep everybody safe. It's not paid support. So there might be times when the family wants to pay their volunteers for coming out and serving them. We hope that you will respectfully decline that. We know that you're doing this for the right reasons. You're doing this to do service in your community and support for the cause of ALS. They'll want to pay you, and it's okay to say no. It's great to say yes to pizza, or if they want to buy dinner or water for your volunteer moment. But we encourage you to decline any sort of monetary exchange. We also want you to decline any form of direct physical contact with the ALS patient or their family, and any handling of medical equipment or supplies. We also want you to decline any unsupervised interaction with family members, especially minor children of the ALS family. We don't want our volunteers in a situation where something goes awry with a minor child or with a person in the family without someone else in the room who's a responsible adult on behalf of the family. We also do not want you to be involved in any sort of transportation with the family. It's tricky to transport an ALS patient or their family, so we just prefer you don't do that at all. And then finally, fundraising. There might be situations where a family will ask you to host a fundraiser to help them pay for a particular piece of equipment or supplies for their ALS journey. We want you to feel good about the volunteer work that you're doing. It is worth its weight in gold, and we don't want you to be involved in a situation where there's going to be money handling between your team of volunteers and the family. It's a tricky situation, and we just prefer that it doesn't happen. So please decline that, and let the family know that LiveLikeLou prohibits any fundraising on behalf of the families. Our organization, we make grants to programs that benefit families, and we make grants to research. So we're doing a lot with the money that we raise. So it's okay that your work is limited to volunteering. It's something you can be very proud of. So here's a picture of a volunteer event that happened with the Idaho Alpha chapter of Phi Delta Theta. They found this family in Eastern Oregon, needed their farm cleaned up, and 19 guys got in the car and they drove several hours to spend the day cleaning up the farm for this ALS family. And here's a situation where we have an alumnus of Phi Delta Theta got the call, and he happened to know a whole lot about rubbish clearing and rubbish burning. And this woman who's living with ALS was delighted to have his support. So he went out on his own, and they have a continuing relationship to this day, which is so nice. No matter what form your volunteer event takes, whether it's 19 of you, or it's 3 of you, or it's 1 of you, know that the work that you're doing means so much to these families. They love sharing their story, living with ALS, and helping you understand the disease. And they certainly love getting your arms and legs on their projects. They want to know that you're having fun. They want to know that you're enjoying being of service to them. They want to have a relationship with you. So I hope you feel good about that when you go out to your service event. Okay, next steps. Select a registered ALS family that's near you through the application tool that you're using right now. We will then email you to introduce you to your ALS family. So you then will have the ball. You, the volunteer, have the ball. And you would contact your family. On the form, it'll say if they want to be texted or emailed or phoned. You contact them, introduce yourself, ask questions about the project, and then scale the work. If it's a small project and they just need 1 or 2 guys to do the work, great, definitely show up. If they want an addition put on their house or a new roof, obviously that's too much. And so you can say no. But if it's somewhere in the middle, if it's a type of project where if you only had 3 or 4 more guys to help you with your project, feel free to reach out to your community, reach out to your chapter, reach out to alumni brothers of Phi Delta Theta, reach out to the broader community of ALS support. You can even give us an email and ask us if we know anyone in the community that can help. If it's a reasonable project and something, if you just need some more arms and legs, we'll see if we can help you make it happen. Then arrange your service date and show up. On your volunteer date, prepare before you get there. Know what the work is, be prepared for the environment, bring all the right gear. If you need gloves or boots, or if you need clippers or shovels, if you can get them, do bring them. Most of the times the family supplies those sorts of things. And then be ready. Obviously, use the bathroom before you go, bring your water, eat a meal, bring some snacks, make sure you're ready. You don't want to find yourself in the middle of your volunteer date, knocking on the door, asking to use their facilities or telling them you need water. Those seem like simple requests, but when you're living with ALS, opening your door to 4 volunteers who need to come in and use the restroom or get some water can be a very complicated request. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it is. So do what you can to prepare before you get there so that you don't have to make those types of requests. When you're interacting with your ALS family, recognize that although ALS takes the muscles, the arms and the legs, and sometimes even the ability to speak, the ALS family herself or himself may still be the leader of the household. They may be the person who's directing the job. Slow down, listen, communicate to them directly, make sure they understand you want to hear what they have to say. Please know they often have a wicked sense of humor and a whole lot of grace to share. And just because they can't speak it doesn't mean they're thinking it and they don't want you to know it. So take the time you need to communicate directly with your patient and their family members and get to know them. I think you'll probably find there's a whole lot of wonderful lessons to be learned from those relationships. While you're working on your project, I love the saying, one man is no man. It applies here as well. Always use the rule of 2. Never, ever be outside of earshot or eye or vision of another person on your volunteer team. You always want to have a witness if someone has an accident. You always want to make sure someone else sees you in the room with other family members if you're doing a project with family members. Make sure you guys have eyes and ears on one another in case something goes awry or you need help or you need a helping hand. If there's an emergency, call 911. That's it. If there's an emergency, do what you need to do to keep one another safe and make sure that you get the emergency responders on site right away. If it's something in between an emergency and not quite an emergency, take pictures, write the story, make sure you've got good information as to what has occurred. And then I want you to call, write this down, Todd Simmons at Phi Delta Theta General Headquarters. His number is 513-523-6345, extension 239. Or if it's something that doesn't require immediate attention, you can email info@livelikeLou.org. And we'll do what we can to correct the situation or react to it appropriately. Look, these ALS families don't need any more problems. So please always be safe. Please always be sensitive to the risks that you're taking and making sure you're keeping one another out of harm's way and focused on doing a really good and meaningful volunteer project with them. We hope you'll have fun. We hope you'll take pictures and share your stories, because then we're going to take your stories and we're going to blast them all over social media. We want to brag about you so that the rest of Phi Delta Theta Nation, our communities of researchers, our communities of ALS support know what we do when we stand up for the cause of ALS. If you have signed up for a volunteer assignment with an ALS family, I'm going to go ahead and hold up the shirt. Let us know your shirt size and your mailing address, and we will send you one of our very elegant, very exciting and collectible Onward t-shirts. Neil Alexander, the co-founder of Live Like Lou, used the word onward to rally the rest of us around his disease. He wanted us to start from a place of gratitude. He wanted to focus on the things we could control, our attitudes. He wanted us to move onward through this disease and leave it better than we found it. So we will send you this shirt when you're done with your volunteer engagement. We hope you'll wear it with pride. Thank you for all that you do to help us leave ALS better than we found it. Okay, I'm going to just sign off now and let you know we're very grateful and can't wait to hear all of your great stories of volunteering. Thanks, everybody. Take care.